The proper methods of lifting, carrying, and lowering an object can protect you against injuries. Ultimately, proper lifting makes it easier and can save you from a world of pain. But you need to think about what you're going to do before picking up an object, and over time, safe lifting techniques should become a habit.
Alright, so let's go over the basic steps of safe lifting and carrying. Number 1, size up the load and check overall conditions. Don't attempt the lift by yourself if the load appears to be too heavy or awkward. Check that there is enough space for movement and that the footing is good. Also, good housekeeping ensures that you won't trip or stumble over an obstacle. So if you need to clean up things around the area, go ahead and do so before you start lifting. Number 2, make certain that your balance is good. Feet should be shoulder width apart, with one foot beside and the other foot behind the object that is to be lifted. Step number 3, bend the knees, don't slump. Keep the back straight but not vertical. There is a difference. Tucking in the chin straightens the back. Step 4, grip the load with the palms of your hands and your fingers. The palm grip is much more secured. Tuck in the chin again to make certain your back is straight before starting to lift. Before lifting, test the object for weight and shifting contents. Step 5, use your body weight to start moving the load, and then lift by pushing up with the legs. This makes full use of the strongest set of muscles. Make sure to lift with a smooth and steady motion. Don't jerk. Step 6, make sure your object is in your power zone, which is located between your hand and elbow and your waist to your chest. Keep the arms and elbows close to the body while lifting. Step 7, carry the load close to the body. Don't twist your body while carrying the load. To change direction, shift your foot position and turn your whole body. In other words, move with the object. Step 8, watch where you're going. Step 9, to lower the object, bend the knees, don't slump. To deposit the load on a bench or shelf, place it on the edge and push it into position. Make sure your hands and feet are clear when placing the load.
So those are the general steps of proper lifting, carrying, and lowering materials or equipment. Let's take a quick look at some of the specific items that you will encounter as an employee at Painters USA.
An example would be 5-gallon buckets of paint. So what's the easiest way to move 5-gallon buckets? Conventional wisdom might tell you to carry them one at a time to reduce the amount of weight you have to endure. If you're able to do this and carry it by the handle, your weight will be unevenly distributed, and there's a chance that you could injure yourself, especially if you have a lot of full 5-gallon buckets to move. Now, to avoid the uneven distribution of weight at your side, you can do one of two things. Follow the steps mentioned previously and lift and carry one bucket in this position as you see here. Or you can lift and carry 2 buckets by their handles at the same time. This will allow the even distribution of weight and will actually be easier and cause less stress on your body as you're moving the buckets. This method is highly recommended as opposed to carrying them one at a time and will save you time and energy. Now what if you have a lot of 5-gallon buckets to move? What do you do then? Well, if it's possible, look for an alternative means to move the load. For example, if you have a paint dolly, use it. The paint dolly is designed to move more 5-gallon buckets at a time than you could do manually, and it'll be much quicker and be less stressful on your body. There is yet another way. Again, if the situation allows, you can use what's called a pallet jack. All you have to do is set the 5-gallon buckets on top of the pallet and lift the pallet with the jack, then move it to where you want to go. More than likely, you'll be able to fit at least twice as many buckets on the pallet as you would with a dolly. However, it's recommended that you stack only one layer on the pallet. If you stack the buckets any higher without wrapping them, you risk tipping them over, which could end up being a huge mess. Alright, let's look at one more item that you might have to move a lot of, and that would be bags of media. Whether the media is being used for anti-slip on an epoxy floor, or will be used as an abrasive for our blasting machines, chances are you're going to have to move these bags and move a lot of them. Now, a bag of media is a little bit different than moving a solid object. The media will move around on you as you're trying to handle it, making it a bit more strenuous and frustrating to move. The tendency here is to simply bend over, grab the bag, and quickly lift up and move the bag as fast as you can. But remember the steps from earlier. Don't use your back muscles to lift the object. You want to use your legs to handle the heavier lifting. So the trick with the bag of media is to kneel down with one foot beside the bag and one directly behind the bag. Pull the bag towards you, positioning the bag to stand vertically. Now pull the bag closer to your body, getting your hands under the bag, and hug the bag. Once you have a firm grip, go ahead and stand up. You should be holding the bag like this. It should be close to your body. There might also be a tendency to throw the bag over your shoulder. Again, this would cause an uneven distribution of weight to one side and could end up causing strain to your body, especially if you have a lot of bags to move. Now, if you have 100 bags of sand to move and the situation works out, use a mechanical aid such as a cart or a pallet jack to help you move the material. It will save you time and energy to do so.
Well, that's what I have in terms of basic steps for lifting. Please click on the next button when the video is over to return to the main menu.